on to another episode of a series I do not yet have a name for, but I'm going to proceed anyway. If you're new here, I'm Megan. I cook meals from home. I'm no chef, but I'm happy to share my recipes with you. I'm just a broke mom here trying to make some good food so that my family doesn't go hungry, and hopefully you're here for the same reason, so let's go. Today we're going to cook one of the recipes that I found in my grandma's cookbook. It is her chili for 12. Now, my grandma was a very money-conscious kind of a woman, and she saved every chance that she could. So this is a very basic chili recipe. As always with any kind of cooking, add what you like, take out what you don't, and proceed from there. Cooking is about from the heart. It's about making food that you like at home so that we don't have to go out and spend money on crazy ingredients or even asking somebody else to make those crazy meals for us. This recipe also could be converted to be vegan if you choose to have it that way. You could substitute the ground beef for some more beans, maybe some chickpeas, maybe some different beans. Fully up to you. In this house, however, we are meat eaters, so here we go. We're going to start with some ground beef, a little bit of onions sauteed in the pan until fully cooked. My grandma did call this recipe a chili for 12. We did have a large family when everybody got together, so I'm assuming that that's why she went with that name. However, whenever I make the recipe, it tends to last us only a few days. We are a family of 4, but if I am being completely honest here, the kids don't really eat a whole lot of this chili, so we do like to spice it up and give them something different for dinner that night. This is also a great recipe for the meal prepper in all of us. Once you have this made, package it up properly and put it in the fridge, and it's perfect for reheating for lunches, dinners, breakfast, snacks, what have you, for the rest of the week. Like any chili as well, you can put it on top of anything. Put it on top of a baked potato, put it on top of French fries, put it on some nachos. Sky's the limit. Here's where we add our kidney beans, our tomato soup, and some water. You can also use pinto beans or black beans, whatever it is that you have or like. While I'm adding these ingredients, I want to take this moment to remind you, if you haven't already, to subscribe. You are going to want to do that so that you don't miss out on any more of these amazing, budget-friendly, simple home cooking recipes. At this point also, my grandma's recipe called for lard. I didn't have any on hand, so I used butter. I cannot explain this one to you. I have no idea why this is what we do. If you understand this, I would love to know your opinion on this in the comments below. But I went with it, and it tasted delicious. And of course, we can't argue with Grandma from beyond. Honestly, we couldn't argue with Grandma when she was here either. I did also take a few liberties when it came to seasoning this chili. My grandma did add chili powder, of course, salt and pepper, and she also calls for a package of onion soup mix, which comes with its own blend of seasonings. But I also went ahead and added some paprika, some parsley flakes, some thyme, some bay leaves, and some garlic. You could also add any seasonings you prefer, anything you like to put into your chili. There are multiple different kinds of chili powder that you can use. It all really depends on what you have on hand and what you prefer in your own taste in your own home. My favorite part about cooking at home is that you can customize every last detail of what goes into your food. You can make it exactly what it is that you want. So yes, follow my recipe if you need some help or some ideas or some guidance on something you haven't necessarily made before. But once you've made it once, twice, maybe 3 times, even the first time, as you smell and taste things as you're cooking, you're going to want to add or not put in things that you don't necessarily like. And of course, we're always going to stay away from those allergies. I'm fairly certain that every time I make this recipe from home, I tend to not actually use a recipe anymore because I have the base by heart. I do most likely change the seasonings depending on what I can reach, what I have in stock, and what I feel like that day. When I'm not asking my kids to try it, I definitely tend to add a little bit more spice. When I am asking them to try it, I hold that back and add it in my own bowl when I'm eating it. It always depends on who's eating and who's helping, really. Since this night in particular, I knew the kids weren't going to be eating it. I'm actually pretty sure that they weren't even home that night. I think they were over at a sleepover somewhere. I ended up adding in a couple of the chili peppers that I had dehydrated from a garden I had in the past, and it worked out really, really well. I had made this chili earlier on in the day and I was allowing it to simmer all day, so the seasonings and the flavor from the actual dehydrated chili itself just seeped into the chili. And that's a lot of times to use chili all in one sentence and it having two different meanings. This is another one of those make ahead recipes, so you can make it in the morning and have it ready for dinner that night, which is great for busy nights. It's great for days when you know that you have a lot of energy in the morning and you may not have that energy later on when the kids are coming home from school or if the other things need to be done. It's always good to have these kinds of recipes on hand. At least I believe so. Plus, it makes your kitchen smell so good all day. It is absolutely delicious. Although it does make it hard to wait until 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock for dinner. Sometimes dinner happens around 4 when you've been cooking it all day. I love to pair this chili with a really good crusty loaf of bread. I do have a recipe for that as well. It is the recipe that goes with the loaf of bread that you will see shortly in this video. There it is. It is so easy to make and so delicious. If you're looking for that recipe, again, make sure that you subscribe because that will be posted next week. The actual written recipe itself, as well as any other written recipes that you may be looking for, this chili, that bread, anything else you've seen on my channel, of course, will be found in the link below at sweetsavoryspice.com. If you're feeling fancy, you can always top your chili with a little bit of sour cream, some grated cheddar cheese, whatever it is that you would like to add that extra pizzazz. But if you're not feeling so fancy or you don't have those things on hand, this chili honestly doesn't need it. To all my subscribers who have already been with me along this journey, I want to say thank you for watching. Anybody who's new here, please make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss any more of these amazing videos. I hope you enjoyed this one and that you try this chili next time you're looking for a quick, easy meal to make at home. Bone apple squeeze. What?